We together made it happen. We had many, many days of success, but of course, we had some days of failures. And since then, I keep with me 3 precious gems that I want to share with you. First, engage each stakeholder from day one. Second, be pragmatical. Be pragmatical while deciding and while executing. And third, pave a smooth change for your citizens. They are going to move to a global system. In this global system, they need to understand, of course, you are going to have robust business acumen. If not, you are not going to be able to implement a system in India if you don't understand how we sell cars in India, how we produce cars in Thailand. You are going to get effective training. This is a change. You are going to learn how Workday is configured, how you manage a cornerstone project. And you are going to have realistic exercises. We are going to start by this small operation in South Africa, that is a complete one. It's a complex one, but it's a small one. We are going to learn there, because it's a small one, no big impact.
Here's the 3 things I'm going to talk to you about. Your audience, brand, and then content. I've also got some content to show you, because I hate going to conferences and people talk about all this amazing content, and you don't ever see it. So I'm going to give you a sneak peek into the content. So my first thought, always, when I go into an organization, is know your audience. The very first thing that I also realized is that when you're building a digital solution, you are competing not with Cornerstone and any other in-house app. You're competing with Instagram. You're competing with Facebook, and they're not even on Facebook anymore, Snapchat. Your solution has to be good as or better than that. So how do you do that when you're working in a corporate brand? Create your own in-house brand. This is what I like to do. When I was at Apple and EE, I wasn't actually allowed to. Apple won't let you do anything. So I used my corporate branding, but it gets lost in a sea. Internal comms is using the same branding. Your boss is, the CEO's messaging. Everything looks the same.
This is a global perspective. Now, I want to bring it back to your perspective, your organization, your context. Whatever your context is, there are 3 things you're dealing with. Every business works on 3 levels. On the level of the individual, the level of your teams or the interactions, and the level of the organization itself, the institution. There are 3 levels in which your organization always works at. When you deal with the level of the individual, what you got to do is make it personal. Personal. When you deal with the level of interactions, what you got to do here is give it meaning. Meaningful work. And when you think about an institution, what this is about is learning. What we do is we personalize our meaningful experiences in a learning context. Your job is to have the right individuals in the right place doing the right thing.
It's actually really, really helpful to helping us work. And some amazing companies are using it in really cool ways to make the minimum viable. So we are guilty of too much structure, but by using data, we can have less structure. And when you break it down, as I researched my book and I looked at these large organizations, as you break it down, what is a company? It's a platform for people to get stuff done. All it is the right people in the right place, doing the right things, and it's all held together by information and communication. And if you can, and let's call that data, if you can automate that data or support it with automation, it binds everything together. So let's share a few ideas. If you get this right, this is all it takes to create a company. And I know you'll say, oh, this is a very simplified view, but that's what I do for a living. I simplify these things, and I get a new perspective on it, because the guilty thing we have is where we've overlaid process and process and process and turned humans into robots. So my job is to simplify it, and that's what we're going to do. So the right people in the right place doing the right things is all you need, and it's held together with information and communication.